kinwestiyon ko rin yung pag-appoint ng presiding officer eh. Kasi under the 1987 Constitution, Article 11, Section 3, Paragraph 6, it is necessarily implied therefrom na kung other officers, no, other than the President, dapat Senate President yung mag-preside. Eh bakit sila nag-elect ng Senate President na hindi pala, bakit sila nagpili pa ng presiding officer na iba na nag-elect na sila ng Senate President? They should have known that. 1987 pa itong konstitusyon na ito eh. Pang-ilan na ito na impeachment process eh. Senators should be should have the decency as well as the morality to know the rules because they had themselves elected eh. Part na yun, consequence na yun sa desisyon nila na tumakbo pagka-senator.
Yung inyong assessment patungkol nga doon sa 3 araw na impeachment trial ni VP Sara?
Yun nga, grabe ka, much ado about nothing. And I say it is much ado about nothing because the prosecution is trying to prove a non-crime, an alleged act which does not even constitute a crime, and try to push it to our minds and senses that it would constitute the high crime, other high crimes, or betrayal of public trust, which would supposedly be used as a ground for impeachment. Kaya nga, grabe ang, kung sa Bisaya pa ni, grabing usik sa oras ngawa, lang gihapoy kapaingnan.
Opo.
It does not prove a crime, and granting for the sake of argument that it constitutes a minor crime, it does not constitute as a ground for impeachment.
Opo. Paano ho nyo nasabi, attorney, na wala pong krimen nangyari doon sa...
It's not a crime because there is even a grave doubt na kung grave threats ba yung ginawa. Kasi hindi kasi binibigyan ng ng emphasis ng prosecution yung buo ng pagkasabi, yung kung patay na ako, ipapatay nyo. Kasi how can there be a crime kung patay na siya? It will only operate when she is already dead, no? So and granting for the sake of argument, yung konteksto ng pagkasabi doon has to be taken into consideration. And besides, nakalimutan ng prosecution yung pag-establish ng origin, no, ng origin. It would take a non-lawyer to emphasize that, si Senator Robin Padilla pa. Kasi bakit importante yan? Dapat yung pinaka-tao na nag-tape ng conversation should be the one who should be presented in evidence. Yung raw file ang kukunin doon. Ang prinob nila, yung nakikita lamang sa sa social media na. How would you prove that it is not infected by artificial intelligence? How would you prove that it has not been edited or it has not been amended already? No? So what they were proving is a tape that was already spread or can be seen in the social media. They were not proving the original, the very raw file that was taken of the Vice President. Kasi with the advent of artificial intelligence now, na pwede mo ma-alter yung mga statements, no? Posible talaga na meron yang mga interventions na. So kaya nga importante sana dun sa prosecution to prove the origin of the original tape, no? Kung sino yung kumuha talaga nung tape recording, and show the chain of custody, how it was preserved, and then how it was presented in court. Yun ata ang nakakalimutan ng prosecution. Inassume nila na kung ma-prove nila yung kikita sa social media, ayun na yun. Maling-mali yun. If you want to prove a video recording in a court trial, such as an impeachment court, you are supposed to determine who actually took the original video recording and try to prove that it was the raw file such that it was never altered nor amended, nor any interventions have been undertaken prior to the presentation in the actual court. Yun ata ang nakakalimutan dito.
Opo.
Oo.
At sinasabi, attorney, wala bang exemption daw? Baga, sinasabi nitong testigo na ito ni NBI agent John Mark Calilong na it is publicly available.
Kaya nga you know, it proves the weakness of the case of the prosecution. Just because it is publicly available does not mean that you have already proven the authenticity of the videotape. You may have proven the authenticity of the publicly available tape, but you do not prove the actual interview that was done via Vice President Sara Duterte. Yung tao na yung tao na nag-interview sa kanya, yun sana i-present mo, or any person na present doon sa interview in the actual interview. Yun ang pinaka-importante sa tingin ko doon.
Opo. At tama rin ho bang itong testigo na magsalita na doon sa pagiging sinasabi kasing hindi po siya AI altered o baga hindi po siya ginawa through AI dahil mahigit 2 oras po hindi po kaya daw ng AI. Ganun ng video gagawin, attorney.
Well, that is his opinion pero kung i-analyze mo, 2 weeks lang ata yung training niya. How can he certify that? His expertise on the matter has not been established. May mga AI nga tayong nakikita na movies na Tag-3 oras salida na sini. Yung pinapalabas na nasa AI lahat. So I don't think that is a correct statement because AI now is capable of almost anything.
Opo. Kaya nga naman ay napatanong si Senator Robin Padilla doon sa kanyang credentials, attorney. At alam mo,
Yes.
marami po mga bashers na pinagtatawanan po si Senator Robin Padilla. Bakit daw ganun po yung kanyang paglilinaw, pagtatanong doon sa testigo. Sa korte ho ba, madalas katanggap-tanggap ho ba kung ganito yung magiging credentials ng isang testigo? Lalo 2 weeks lamang po ang kanyang expertise o baga experience pagdating po sa pag-authenticize ng photo at video.
Well, yung kung nangyayari yan sa korte, yung defense counsel would normally and almost always question his expertise and capacity to testify on those issues, on those matters. Kasi nga po, I don't think a 2 weeks training would make you eligible or competent to testify on matters which would require years to study. So, tamang-tama po si Senator Robin Padilla nung ni-raise niya yung matter. It was a valid issue, should have been raised, and it is even surprising na yung non-lawyer pa ang nag-raise nun. Kasi importante kasi yung expertise nun, yung credentials ng taong nagsasabi na kung wala bang AI doon. Kasi yung tao na may sapat na training lamang ang makapagsabi nung ganun. Kung 2 weeks lang, legitimate talaga na i-question yun. At saka si Senator Padilla lang ata ang nag-raise nung raw files, yung origin, because a process of authentication in an actual trial is you have to prove the origin of the videotape. And when you say origin, the raw file is the subject matter thereof, meaning sino talaga yung kumuha at the very interview. Hindi kung nakikita mo na lang yan publicly available. What you are proving is the publicly available tape. You are not proving the actual interview itself. Tainted na yun. How
Opo.
can it prove that it was in fact VP Sara who uttered those? This is being technical about it, but this is how matters are proven in court.
Opo. Dahil ito'y impeachment, Senate Impeachment Court, attorney, at kakaiba nga daw itong korte na ito dahil may halong political. Sa tingin po ninyo, ano bang na-hit ho ba yung target ng prosecution na gamit itong testigo nila laban po kay Vice President Sara Duterte?
klaruhin lamang natin yung mga palusot na the process is also political. When the procedure in proving the grounds for impeachment is concerned, it must follow the legal procedure. Okay? So parang it mimics a court. So meaning, the process of proving the high crimes of culpable violation of the Constitution, treason, bribery, graft and corruption, other high crimes or betrayal of public trust has to follow strictly legal proceedings. What is political, the nature of the politics here that would enter into is that the people are likewise interested in this. And the senators, when they vote, may consider also the public opinion. That's what makes it political. But that does not mean that you will disregard the legal process of authenticating a video, of following the rules of evidence when you are presenting it in the impeachment court. Kaya i-correct natin yan. Hindi po pwede na hindi mo na prove yung raw file, sasabihin mo pa magpapalusot ka, impeachment proceeding ito nagkamali kayo Huwag ka magpalusot doon sa impeachment is sui generis because it is legal, it has to follow the rules on evidence. Kaya nga nandun sa rules, the rules of court are likewise suppletory. May rules din yung Senado, dapat i-follow yun.
Opo. At sinasabi din na tagumpay daw sila, ito nga sa prosecution na kampo, dahil naipresenta po nila yung video na ipakita nila sa publiko. Gaano ka, para po sa inyo, anong reaksyon po ninyo doon?
Actually, merong fundamental fundamental error yung nakomit yung prosecution. Yung pagbubunyi nila na panalo na sila kasi na-present nila yung video. Nakalimutan nga nila yung video na na-present niya, yung publicly available. Nakalimutan nila korte ito, impeachment court ito, it mimics an actual court. You have to prove the originality of the tape recording of the videotape. Dapat meron silang source doon sa actual interview. Yun ang pagkakamali ng prosecution dito. Bakit hindi man lang sila nag-effort na magtanong sino ang nag-interview talaga on the day itself of the interview kay VP Sara Duterte. Saan yung raw file na yun para masigurado tayo na yung sinasabi dito sa publicly available na videotape ay yun talaga yun. That is being legal about it. Well, they may say, the other party may say, grabe ka naman, masyado ka naman technical. Yan ang burden ng prosecution Kung mang-aakusa ka, you have to follow the rules. Kung hindi mo nagawa yun, huwag ka magpalusot na magsabi ka na political din yung proceeding. Political when it comes to voting, when the senators have to consider also the public pulse when they render their decision on the matter. But the procedure is strictly legal, kaya nga may rules of impeachment at supplementary din yung rules of court.
Opo. Normal ho ba sa korte na magbibigay po ng kanilang mga manifestation, mga opening statements tungkol po sa kaso sa prosecution at sa depensa, attorney?
Hindi. That only applies in a jury system, no? In America, may mga opening statement, may mga closing statement. Pero inalaw ng impeachment court Wala nga din yan sa sa Senate rules on impeachment. Parang ginawa nilang practice siguro para pagbigyan din yung mga congressman na at least may role din sila kasi normally ang gumagawa nung sa prosecution yung mga congressman, wala naman silang trabaho doon sa actual presentation of evidence. But that should not have been allowed because it would put a color to the actual evidence, no? We should be presented with the evidence of the prosecution, not the speech of the prosecution.
Opo. Ang inyo pong pananaw naman doon sa naging cross-examination ng depensa?
Well, yung prosecution ng depensa, honestly, hindi siya perfect. Pero ano siya, more than average siya. Oo, more than average in the sense na nakuha nila yung mga dapat na mga punto na like for example, the context. The context of what you call this, of the declaration, alleged declaration of VP Sara Duterte, no? Since it was already presented, granting for the sake of argument that threats were in fact committed, it would not constitute anymore as a grave threat sa tingin ko. So if it did not constitute as a grave threat, no? Granted, hindi ako nag-admit na gano'n, ha? Kasi yun nga din ang makomment ko dun sa defense, dapat walang admission in so far as the authenticity of the video. Dapat consistent sila doon na, well, we are not conceding on the authenticity of the video simply because of the fact that there was failure to authenticate as to its origin. Ganon tara. But granting for the sake of argument that there was proper authentication, that the original was really presented, we say ganon sana. Oo, pero maski hindi nagawa yun, enough pa rin yun to prove na hindi na-prove yung what you call this, hindi na-prove yung impeachable crime na other high crimes. Kasi nga po, granting for the sake of argument na na-utter yun ni VP Sara Duterte, it does not reach the quantum of the high crime of culpable violation of the Constitution, treason, bribery, graft and corruption, or other high crimes, or betrayal of public trust. Kasi yung mga crimes na ipoprove natin for impeachment ay specific under the 1987 Constitution. So dapat matataas masyado ito ng mga level na krimen. So kung ang na-prove mo isang krimen na very minor, wala ding hindi rin sapat yun na ma-prove na impeachable, na na-prove mo yung impeachable crime required under the 1987 Constitution.
Opo. Bago ko lang ipasa kay partner attorney, may ilang mga senator judges nagbibigay ng mga katanungan tulad ng Senator Robin Padilla at meron pang ilan na nagtatanong na dahil itong testigo na ito, unang testigo na si NBI agent John Mark Calilong ay baga wala namang naipakita, wala namang sinabing nag-hire itong si VP Sara ng assassin o hindi baga malinaw, attorney. Maaari ho bang itanong ng mga senator judges na doon sa prosekusyon o sa depensa ba o sa prosekusyon mismo na walang violation sa konstitusyon itong ginawa ni VP Sara o may limitasyon lang talaga itong pagtatanong ng mga senator judges?
Well, that would really depend on the presiding officer, no? But the rule of thumb is dapat hindi ka magtanong ng mga conclusion of law. Ang itanong mo yung mag-elicit ka ng facts. Facts ang kukunin mo, hindi conclusion of law. Like for example, yung tanong na binabasi si kapatid Robin Padilla, pero ang galing nung tanong The question about the raw file, that is a question that would try to elicit fact and that is valid. Pero kung magtanong ka na, paano ito makakonstitute na other high crimes or betrayal of public trust? Ayun, asking for a conclusion. How can an NBI agent say that the utterance of the Vice President would constitute betrayal of public trust or other high crimes? That would be ultimately requiring a person to draw a conclusion of law which is not allowed in ordinary rules of evidence, much more in a rule in an impeachment proceeding. Yun lang po, i-determine mo kung ang senador ay nagtatanong drawing a question of fact or if it is drawing a question of law. Kung question requiring a fact, ayun, valid yun. Pero kung ang question requiring a conclusion of law, objectionable yun, hindi proper yun.
Attorney Mayong Buntag, assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Yung sinasabi pong mga technical na pamamaraan sa pagdetermina sa authenticity ng video, sinasabi nyo nga po dapat sundin. Pero ang mga senator judge po, na-appreciate ba itong mga ganito? May patakaran po ba? Obligado sila na talagang sumunod dito sa mga ganitong pamamaraan. Kasi alam naman po natin, napakakonti po ng mga abogado ng mga sa mga senator judges.
Yes, dapat magkaroon sila ng crash course kasi parte yun sa kanilang tao. As a senator, you are mandated, no, supposedly not only personally but morally. Nagpa-elect ka na maging aralan mo 'yan. Oo. So, dapat alamin mo yung process of authentication, the requirement that the witness should trace the origin of a certain evidence, the chain of custody, and the way it is presented, and the how it was presented in court. No, all of these matters should be known by you. Kaya nga kinwestiyon ko rin yung pag-appoint ng presiding officer Kasi under the 1987 Constitution, Article 11, Section 3, Paragraph 6, it is necessarily implied therefrom na kung other officers, no, other than the President, dapat Senate President yung mag-preside. Bakit sila nag-elect ng Senate President na hindi pala, bakit sila nagpili pa ng presiding officer na iba na nag-elect na sila ng Senate President? They should have known that. 1987 pa itong Constitution na ito Pang-ilan na ito na impeachment process Senators should be should have the decency as well as the morality to know the rules because they had themselves elected Part na yun, consequence na yun sa desisyon nila na tumakbo pagka-senator.
Opo, iugnay natin po doon naman sa inyo pong inihain na petisyon sa Korte Suprema. Para sa kaalaman ng ating mga kababayan, ano po yung mga prayers niyo po doon, Attorney?
Yung iba kasi sinasaway tayo kasi ito na naman, no, panggulo naman. Hindi po ito panggulo. Kasi nga po, yung impeachment proceeding, impeachment complaint na final ni against kay VP Sara Duterte, depektibo na masyado, di ba? Ang dami na ng rason nun. It violated the rights of VP Sara Duterte. It did not contain ultimate facts. Yung mga ebidensya ay wala nga naka-attach doon sa impeachment complaint at saka patong-patong na kamalian. Kaya nga nag-file tayo ng petition for certiorari para mapadismiss yun. Dagdag ng kamalian. Ngayon pa, nag-appoint sila ng presiding officer na grabe ito sulto kay Senator Wing Gatchalian kasi under Article 11, Section 3, Paragraph 6, it should be it is necessarily implied therefrom that it should be the Senate President who would preside kung ang presidente ang inihahadla ng impeachment complaint. Tapos, ang proseso pa nito ay hindi rin tama kasi yung Rule 2 ng Senate Rules na nagsasaad kung pag-amenda nila doon sa rules ay wala pang quorum. Only 12 out of 24 senators were present on June 3 of 2026 when they amended Rule 2 of the Senate Rules. At saka, violation din yun under Section 136 of Rule 51 of the Senate Rules. Ano yun? Ano yung rule na yun? Dapat kung mag-amenda ka ng Senate Rules, ay dapat ipresenta mo ito 1 day before it is going to be considered by the Senate. Hindi nila sinunod yun. Tsaka, kung mag-amenda ka ng rules on impeachment, dapat you should have it amended at the time when the Senate is acting as an impeachment court, not as an ordinary Senate doing legislative works. Kaya nga, nagsampa tayo ng motion doon sa Korte Suprema kasi supervening event ito, kadagdagan na naman na mali ito. Ang takot kasi natin, kunyari, kung si VP Sara ay ma-acquit, hindi ma-prove, hindi sila makaabot ng 16 votes, may magpetisyon na naman sa Korte Suprema, mag-file na naman next year dahil sa void ab initio yung proceedings na ginawa nila kasi hindi Senate President yung mag-preside. Mayroon na naman tayong impeachment proceeding next year. Ang laki ng gastos natin dyan, more than 25 million per day. Ang tao ay na-divide na masyado. Depektibo pala, void of issue pala. Kaya, isinahil natin doon sa Korte Suprema yung motion natin.
Opo, attorney, sakali man po nakatigan kayo, kabilang din po ba sa maapektuhan yung naging pag-preside niya? Halimbawa, illegal o unconstitutional yung kanilang naging botohan doon sa pag-amyenda noong batas, no, na nung impeachment rules nila, dahil kung di ako nagkakamali, 12 lang ata yung bumoto doon.
Yes.
Meron pang pag-question si Senador Alan Peter Cayetano na wala yung 1 day na notification bago ang mismong pagtalakay. Lahat ba ng mga na-approve nila ng mga journal, lahat ba ng mga nangyari sa unang 3 araw ay magiging void?
Yes, infected na yun. Infected yun kasi ang Senate, I must admit no that he seemed or he looked fair in the proceedings. But just because it seemed to be fair does not mean that it is already valid. Kasi yung presiding officer po has ample powers, wide powers. He can rule on materiality, he can rule on admissibility, he can rule on relevancy, he can even order the sergeant at arms of the Senate to enforce the rules or decisions of the Senate. No, lahat po yun, yung mga ruling niya, yung proceedings, ay pwede pong questionin. Kaya nga, gusto natin, okay, kung ano man, yung aming petition, pending pa man ngayon, kinukonsider pa man ng Senado, itong presiding officer, void talaga ito, dapat i-correct ito para mapatama natin ang procedure. If there should be a trial, we are not conceding that the trial is valid, but granting for the sake of argument na kailangan yan i-proceed, dapat tama yung proseso para hindi ito ma-infect ng voidness. Kaya nga, i-final natin ito because any and all proceedings that are conducted by an illegal presiding officer, unconstitutional presiding officer, can be questioned because the proceedings are void.
Doon po sa unang 3 araw po, nabanggit nga siguro sa unang araw ata yun ng impeachment trial, mismo ng hinalal na presiding officer, Senador Chis Escudero, na 16 yung susundin nila para ma-convict, no? Itong si VP Sara, no? Ang sinasakdal po. The next day, nagkaroon ng clarification si Senator Judge Ping Lacson. Kina-clarify niya kung ito ba ay legal opinion lang or mismong desisyon ng impeachment court at kinumpirma nga ni Senator Chis na ito ay desisyon ng impeachment court at inaprubahan na rin nila yung mga nakalipas na mga journal. Sa tingin niyo po, along the way dito sa impeachment trial, ito na yung magiging batayan. Hindi na, kasi dahil maraming naglalabas ng mga issue na pwedeng ibaba, pwedeng mabawasan yung bilang. Yet, etong pag-question nyo po na doon baka maka-apekto rin doon sa naging desisyon niya. Attorney, kabilang din po ba doon sa hiningin yung prayer, yung paglilinaw sa kung ilan yung boto na dapat yung threshold mismo?
Well, honestly, hindi. Hindi yun. Kasi at the time when we filed it in the Supreme Court, hindi pa issue yun eh. Hindi pa siya issue. And besides, actually, with the pronouncement of the presiding officer, no, na of course we are questioning his appointment. But then again, the fact na sabi niya yun at parang may implied concurrence ng mga senador kasi walang nag-question eh. Wala man lang nag-file ng MR, verbal or otherwise. Belated pa yung pag-raise ng issue. So, bound na sila yun. Tsaka besides, this is not the first impeachment complaint that happened in the Republic of the Philippines under the 1987 Constitution. Yung mga issue na yan, naging issue din yan nung panahon nung nakaraang mga impeachment trial. So I don't think that would be an issue. And besides, that is very clear under Article 11, Section 3, Paragraph 6, last sentence, that no person shall be convicted without the concurrence of 2/3 of all the members of the Senate. Klarong-klaro po yan. And I think yung mga na lang talaga, yung mga intellectually dishonest sa tingin ko ang nag-i-insist na ibahin yung punto ng konstitusyon po dito.
Huli na lamang po na topic, attorney, yung na-raise din, no? Pinalutang din ni ni Senator Judge Alan Peter Cayetano yung posibilidad na makadalo sa pagdinig ang dalawang senador na nahawak ngayon ng otoridad o nakakulong. Kasi nga, yung mga witnesses nga, mga resource person na ginagamit or nakasama sa mga investigasyon sa Senado, sa Kamara, na nakabilanggo, pinapayagan nga. How much more itong mga senador po, attorney, na sa pagkakaalam natin, hindi naman nawala yung kanilang pagiging miyembro ng Senado.
Oo nga. They remain members of the Senate, no? And I would just like to appeal to the good senses of the senators, no, na in the past meron namang nangyari na ganito. On July 25 of 2007, yung Senate noon issued a resolution expressing the sense of the Senate that Senator Antonio Trillanes IV be allowed to participate in the session. Tapos in November 2008, no, a majority of senators, 14 out of 23, filed Resolution 765 amending the rules of the Senate by incorporating a rule to allow senators to participate in Senate sessions. Nangyari na yan. And not only that, the Senate also adopted Resolution number 373, May 4 of 2020, when they allowed via a resolution Senator De Lima to participate in via video conference, teleconference. Though it may be argued na hindi ito na fully implement itong mga resolutions na ito, but it proves na pwede itong gawain. Depende ito sa mga senador. So, sana gagawin nila ito kasi a senator can only cease to be a senator when he is dead, when he is fully incapacitated. Hindi naman The Senator Estrada, Senator De La Rosa, Senator Marcoleta are still senators and they're entitled to presumption of innocence. So therefore, they should be allowed to participate via video conference or other means. Kasi if you look at it, yung mga congressmen nga pati text message po pwede, pati tawag lang po pwede, pati video conference po pwede. Bakit hindi po pwede dyan sa senador? Huwag naman masyado sana ang politika. Kasi ang nakasalalay po dito ay interest po ng ating bansa. So sana naman, kung nagawa na ito noong 2007 and 2020, hindi nila ito. Kasi malay natin, baka sila na naman ang makasuhan next time. At sila na naman yung mapreso. O, di ba? Baka magyayari yan. Baka may magkakarma niyan. At tapos hindi naman sila i-allow na magboto via video conference. Ang karma, nangyayari yan. So, sana, we would like to invoke the good sense of the senators to pass a similar resolutions which the Senate did in 2007, 2008, and 2020.
Singit ko lang, attorney, pwede bang makorek yung kine-question nyo po na sa pagiging presiding officer ni Senador Chis Escudero sa darating po nila na sesyon? Though mga ilang linggo pa yan, kasi parang sa during SONA, doon gagawin nilang legal lahat kasi 30 na sila po, attorney.
Oo, pwede. Kung mag-introduce sila ng resolution, the amending resolution, di ba? Yung Rule 2 kasi inamend nila pasa na naman sila ng resolution in order to amend or to restore the original provision, and then boboto sila, iboto si Chis Escudero as Senate President. Corrected na yung problem, pero ang problema niyan, yung first 3 days, kung ano ang gagawin nila. Perhaps what they can do is also to pass a resolution, no, affirming what happened to the first 3 days, no, and they would yung ratify ba? They would ratify whatever that transpired in the first 3 Senate sessions. So in that way, perhaps legally, the mistakes that were conducted in the first 3 hearings can be corrected.
Meron pa silang isang paliwanag, attorney. Kasi noong naganap sa June 13 kung saan 12 lang sila, inaprobahan nila ang mismong pagbabago ng o inamyendahan nila yung impeachment rules. Yun nga, yung pwede silang bumoto, mag-decide kung sino yung kanila magiging presiding officer. 12 sila. Pero noong nagkaroon yata ng special session, inaprobahan yung journal noong session na yun na 12 pa sila. During sa special session, naging 13 na sila kung saan nga lumipat na si Senator Chis Escudero. Yun yung isa din sa kanila yatang paliwanag din na attorney.
Well, when a void act happens, it remains void, no? Regardless of what transpired thereafter. But then again, granting for the sake of argument na ginamit nila yon. Ang problema kasi, when they were already 13, they did not attempt to issue a resolution ratifying their previous act on June 3 of 2026. So, yun din ang problema. Pero I would still stick to my original argument na kung nung pinasa yung resolution amending Rule 2, no? It was a void act simply because they did not have the numbers. It remained a void act. Yun ang tingin ko. And they did not they did not do the proper act that would probably, and I'm not saying that it can be, probably cure the void act because a void act can never be cured by ratification.
Opo. Ayan, attorney, siguro huling mensahe po ninyo para sa ating mga kababayan.
Ang aking mensahe dito sa ating mga kababayan ay sana naman, no, magising na tayo, makikialam na tayo. Now let us know more about what is happening in our country and let us pray more to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala na sana naman merong divine intervention na mangyayari dito sa ating bansa kasi karumal-dumal na po na korupsyon ang nangyayari dito sa ating bansa at ang pinasubject on trial pa ay yung Vice Presidente na wala nang talagang kasalanan. Sana po tayo ay patuloy na magmamasid. Sana ay patuloy tayong mananampalataya kay Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala na sana bigyan niya ng grasya yung ating bansa para hindi ito tuloy na mapupunta po doon sa kanal, no? Maraming salamat po sa pagbigay ninyo ng panahon sa akin and may Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala bless you.